Are you struggling with muscle cramps, poor sleep, and anxiety? There's a chance you might be low in magnesium. In this video, you'll learn why you need magnesium, the signs that you might be low in magnesium, foods that are high in magnesium, as well as why you might have low blood levels of magnesium even if you have a high intake of it. One reason you might need magnesium is for the production of energy. Biochemically speaking, energy is a molecule called ATP, or adenosine triphosphate. You need magnesium at several steps along the cycle in order to create this very, very important molecule. So if you have low energy levels, that's a potential sign, but not a definite sign, of low magnesium levels. Yet another use for magnesium is it helps muscles relax. And not just the voluntary muscles like your biceps, but also the involuntary muscles like the ones that are surrounding your gastrointestinal system, as well as the ones surrounding the arteries. So one sign of low magnesium status is that you get cramps or spasms, or you get twitches in the muscle. Another one is because it's not just the voluntary muscles, but the ones around the intestines. Constipation is another possible sign of low magnesium. And again, there's muscles surrounding arteries. They're not voluntary muscles. You can't will yourself to contract them, but they do surround the arteries. So if you have high blood pressure, that's another potential sign of low magnesium. Another function of magnesium is controlling brain chemicals, collectively known as neurotransmitters. Certain brain chemicals or neurotransmitters are excitatory. They increase your state, awareness, etc. The other group of neurotransmitters are inhibitory. They calm you down. Things like adenosine, serotonin, etc. They relax you, they mellow you out. And magnesium helps with a balance of excitatory to inhibitory. If magnesium is low, the excitatory neurotransmitters dominate the inhibitory neurotransmitters. What's the end result of that? Well, two major factors are anxiety, which really ramps you up, but also insomnia, a difficulty falling asleep. So these are all signs of magnesium deficiency. So now that you know what are the signs of magnesium deficiency, the more of these that you said yes to, the more probable it is, the more likely it is that you are low in magnesium. Now, if you just said yes to one or two out of the 7 or 8 that I mentioned, maybe it's not magnesium deficiency. Maybe it's something else. But ultimately, you can actually test for that in the blood with a simple blood test called RBC magnesium. RBC stands for red blood cell. And now that we know what about foods, which foods are high in magnesium, but to really understand what is high, we need to know the requirements. So how much magnesium do we even need in the first place? Well, men need about 400 milligrams of magnesium per day, and women need 300 milligrams of magnesium per day. These do vary based on a few different factors, but these are ballpark general guidelines. So just remember those numbers: men 400 milligrams, women 300 milligrams. So knowing that, which foods are richest in magnesium? Here they are in descending order. Pumpkin seeds are probably the biggest source of magnesium. 1 ounce or 30 grams of pumpkin seeds contains approximately 186 milligrams of magnesium. Hemp seeds, chia seeds, and flax seeds are all equally rich in magnesium at about 110 to 130 grams of magnesium per 2 tablespoons, which is again 1 ounce or 30 grams. Brazil nuts are also quite rich at 105 milligrams of magnesium for about 6 nuts. And cooked spinach is quite good as well at approximately 78 milligrams of magnesium per half cup of cooked spinach. Raw spinach is a lot lower because of different factors. Also, it's more fluffy. Now, if you're wondering to yourself, I already eat a lot of those foods, why am I still low in magnesium? Well, there's a number of reasons. One may be intake. Maybe you eat those foods, just not enough. Maybe instead of eating 6 Brazil nuts, you eat 3 Brazil nuts. Maybe instead of having these every meal, you have them every other meal or every third meal or once or occasionally. Maybe it's just an intake issue. Maybe you're not eating as much as you think you are. Another possible reason for a low magnesium status despite a high magnesium intake is absorption. Maybe you're eating it, but not extracting it from your food. It's usually the small intestine that's responsible for the extraction of vitamins and minerals from food. And so why might you have an absorption issue? If you have some kind of digestive issue like IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, IBD, inflammatory bowel disease like Crohn's, colitis, or others, those are all reasons why you might have poor absorption. Another reason for poor absorption is something called phytates and oxalates. What are they? They are anti-nutrients, chemicals naturally found especially in green leafy vegetables. And in one study, research showed that they decrease the absorption of magnesium by as much as 60%. They're especially high in, like I said, green leafy vegetables. And so how do you get the benefits of the green leafy vegetables without the drawbacks of phytates and oxalates? It's very, very simple. If you lightly steam those vegetables, it really decreases the phytate and oxalate content, but increases the absorption of magnesium. And a third reason for poor absorption of magnesium is a diet high in insoluble fiber. Things like nuts, especially almonds, pistachios, pecans, as well as seeds. Flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds are all high in insoluble fiber. Now the question is, how high is too high? And the answer to that is actually not quite clear. The research has not arrived at that yet. So far, we've covered two reasons why somebody might have low magnesium levels despite a high magnesium intake. One is intake, the two is absorption, three is elimination. Maybe you're losing excess amounts of magnesium. Why might that be? One possible reason for excessive losses is certain medications, especially diuretics. Diuretics, often given for high blood pressure or lymphedema or fluid retention, they will often decrease magnesium in the urine. Another reason is diabetes. Diabetes raises the requirements for magnesium. Also, chronic vomiting or diarrhea, and I emphasize chronic, will increase somebody's elimination of magnesium. Alcohol intake also does that, and heavy exercise for a long duration. Anything that's over an hour will increase magnesium losses because of its losses in sweat. In one study, they showed that magnesium is lost at a rate of 3 to 24 milligrams per hour of cardio exercise. This is particularly true if it's in an environment where you sweat a lot, outdoors in the heat. So what are the solutions to low magnesium levels? Well, first of all, find out for sure if you have low magnesium levels. Symptoms are nice, but it's good to get tested. And again, the test for magnesium status is RBC magnesium, or red blood cell magnesium. If your intake is low, just eat more magnesium-containing foods. But if you're already doing that and you're still low, try taking magnesium supplements like magnesium glycinate, magnesium threonate, or magnesium complex, which contains multiple forms of magnesium in one capsule. If you like this information and you want to explore more about exercise and nutrition for people over 50, we have a special newsletter for people just like you. If you click on the link in the description below, you'll be able to subscribe to our newsletter, and you always have the option of unsubscribing. Thank you and goodbye.